You know those times when your spasticity just goes through the roof and it's the most excruciating pain you've ever been through? If you want to know what makes my spasticity increase, stick around. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Whew. It's been a hot minute. Sorry about that. I'm going through some things, trying to look for a new job, battling a little bit of seasonal depression, I think. But anyways, I'm back here with a new video. I think you'll like it today. I am going to be talking about those things that make my spasticity just increase to an excruciating level. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, I lied. Before I do that, I just want to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. Hi, my name is Blemmy. I'm a 36-year-old woman who lives with spastic diplegia, cerebral palsy, and I like to do videos about how I live my life with a disability that may look a little bit different from those that you may know or that you live with yourself. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. It really helps me out. Also, give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm and really helps me out. Okay, now I promise, let's get into it. These are going to be in no particular order, just as I think of them, but they, some of them do make my spasticity a lot worse. The first thing I'm going to be talking about, because I mentioned my seasonal depression, is the change in weather. Now, the change in weather affects my spasticity, especially when it goes from hotter weather to cooler weather, like in the fall and winter. And of course, nothing is like the cold with spasticity. It just makes me seize up and the pain just shoots up my entire body. But when the weather changes specifically, not just with the cold, but if we go from a hot day to a rainy day, I can literally feel it in my bones. You know how some elderly people say, oh, the weather's gonna change. That's me. I can tell if the weather's gonna change. I always tell my partner I should have been a weather person because literally I can feel it in my bones. My bones just seize up and it makes it a lot harder for me to move. And with that, I kind of touched on it earlier, the cold. Plunging into the cold, whether it's outside when it's minus 30 degrees Celsius. Yes, it gets that cold and colder here. Feel bad for me. I need to move to Jamaica or something. Or when I plunge into a pool of cold water, like, you know how people do that polar bear dive where they jump into the water, freezing cold water for fun? Yeah, I think that might actually give me a heart attack. If not a heart attack, but my whole body will seize and it'll sink like a stone. I'm pretty sure of it. Cold weather, cold water, cold anything makes my spasticity just increase so badly. So badly. It's insane. So I always try to keep myself as warm as I can, no matter what, because once that cold seeps into my bones, it is hard to get it out. Another one that I don't know if it's talked about a lot, but vomiting. How many of you hate vomiting? I do. Okay, it's not pleasant in and of itself. It sucks. But when you're spastic, like I am, it's like a whole new level. I don't know about you guys. I mean, TMI, I'm sorry if it is. If you don't want to hear about this, just skip a little bit. But when you're retching, like my whole body just like flails. I don't know if there's a good way to show you, but it like flails and like my head moves involuntarily and I'm really afraid that I'm either gonna choke on my vomit or my head's gonna fling somewhere and it's gonna go all over the place. And it's just like a really scary, if not painful experience, but it's more scary for me. I think I'm gonna choke. I don't know what it is about vomiting, but the spasticity just goes tenfold and it's like the worst experience ever. I like try my very best not to ever vomit if I don't have to. It's horrible. Horrible. Thumbs up if you agree with me on that one. Speaking of flailing and spasticity, sneezing. Oh my God. Sneezing it's like a whole body event. Like my whole body just gets thrown into it, which is okay, fine. Your eyes closed, your body goes into it, but I drive. And when I'm driving along and I feel a sneeze coming on, it's like I close my body and I grasp the wheel because I know if I don't hold it tight, like my whole body's gonna jerk, and it's terrifying. Sneezing when you have spasticity and driving, terrifying. I avoid it at all costs, or I like to suppress it in and like wait till I'm at a stop sign and then let it go because oh my God, it's terrifying. Okay, another one that's like the most excruciating thing, and like sweat actually beads down my face when this happens. But you know, when you're like laying down or you're sitting down and your legs are crossed or something and your foot falls asleep, and then you realize your foot's fallen asleep, and so you uncross your legs, or you do the thing to make it so your foot's not like numb anymore, but then you get that pins and needles feeling. And like with me, that pins and needles does not just stay in the area that's asleep, but it like literally like shoots up my entire body and like throws my whole body into like a spastic fit, and it catches my breath, and it's like I can't breathe, and the pain is excruciating, and it feels like it lasts for a good 5 minutes. It's probably like 30 seconds or something, but oh my God, is it excruciating? Do any of you guys get that when your foot's asleep? It doesn't happen when my other limbs fall asleep, but just when my legs fall asleep, it's just, I catch my breath, and my dogs are alarmed, and my partner's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, my foot's asleep. And you know, it's like, oh my God, it's so painful. I don't know if it's just me or if other people experience that. Thumbs up if you get that too. Let me know in the comment section down below, but I try to avoid having my legs fall asleep at all costs because it is one of the truly most painful experiences that I've ever felt. Luckily, it doesn't last very long. Okay, I've got a few more for you guys. Let me know if you want a part 2, what I do to help remedy the spasticity when it comes. But another big one for me is when I drink alcohol. Yeah, when I drink alcohol, it just stiffens me up and I can't move, and it's just kind of excruciating. And I don't know if it's because I'm half Japanese, where we kind of have a alcohol intolerance to begin with, or it's the cerebral palsy. I'm not sure, but like alcohol loosens people up and makes them feel good, and for me it just stiffens me up like nothing else, and it makes me cold, which is another thing that, you know, like I said before, makes me spastic. And so I hardly drink alcohol anymore. I used to because, you know, it's a cool thing to do to fit in, but I just hate what it does to my body. It is not a fun experience, and it hurts. So unless I have to be really social, because I do have a little bit of a social anxiety disorder and I need a little bit of alcohol, I'll drink a little bit, but I will not get rip-roaring drunk anymore. It's just not worth it. The pain in my body, no, not anymore. And then lastly, kind of goes on that when you're out all night drinking, like I was in my 20s or what have you, if I'm really, really tired, like really tired, overly tired, the spasticity just tenfold, right? Like I'm sure everybody gets that one. Sleep is key when you have cerebral palsy. Really, it is. Oh, I've got one more. One more just came to my head. Does anyone else's spasticity increase when people stare at you? Like you're walking around all fine, and then you notice that you've caught someone's eye and they're staring at you, and you just like stiffen up and like you can't move, and like it makes yourself look like 10 times more disabled than you actually are because now you have an audience. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. I don't know if it's just all in my brain or what have you, but stop staring at me, people. I'm doing just fine, living my life. Mind your business. Okay, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what makes you more spastic. If you want a part 2, what I do to remedy the spasticity. Let me know if you have any comments for me in general. Please, if you want, follow me on TikTok. I will have the information down below. TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Like I said, subscribe, like, share, do all the things that really, really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.